Hello, everybody out there. It is the 5th of January 2026. And yeah, it's the last time we're going to be here live together or on a recording, actually. And I'm sitting next to lovely Ethony from Canada and Australia. Hi, Ethony. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. Yeah, I'm very pleased. It was a bit difficult to get together. It's also I tried to get many people from this side of the world where you're living, but the time to settle something with the time is always so difficult. But we managed it, and right, we are recording this in the middle of December, actually. So I'm quite curious how what we will predict for next year, December. But before we do this, I would like to introduce you a bit for people who might not know you, which I can't imagine because you're really well known in the tarot world. You have done so many decks. I unboxed a few of them, and people really like your work. I really love your tarot muses, I have to say. It's one of my most liked decks I often use for inspiration. And you have done so many other decks. You have written a lot of books. And right now, I think you're doing a very special project again. Moon calendar, is it?
So it's my Tarot by the Moon guide, and I started this in 2015. So she is over a decade old,
Wow.
and it's a every new moon and every full moon there is a tarot spread that is to help you work with the moon energy, even the eclipses, whether they're partial or solar or lunar, to make them so you can make the most out of the year, work with the moon's energy, and be an active participant in your divination and in your spiritual development. So it's expanded this year. There's a lot of new content, and yeah, it's been something that I've been sharing on social and creating for over a decade now.
So is it, I actually got my calendar for the first time this year, I have to admit. But when you say there's a spread for every full moon and new moon, is this changing during the years or is it always the same spread?
They do change. So I have this year, especially because I wanted to add journal pages, I added a lot of information about working with the full moon and working with the new moon. And there is also a ritual that three actually, that I've done for like closing out the year and then picking your avatar for the following year. So it's all new this year.
And it's a very cheap is not the good word, I think, but it's a very good price, I have to say. I got it here for €9, I think. It's a PDF you can get. And with this included, you also get a session with you. What are you going to do in this session?
Yes, so the session is it is the ritual for picking your tarot card avatar for the year. So I'm going to lead the ritual that is written in the actual PDF, but I'm going to show how you can do it and ways in which you can pick your card and your energy, and why you would necessarily like sit with a specific card for the year.
Yeah, I have to admit, I didn't read all of the PDF yet. I'm going
No,
to do
it's a
this.
big PDF.
No, but I got all my stuff together, and once I'm away to my parents for Christmas, I'm going to read through everything. But at present, it's still such a busy time, so I couldn't do this. But I will link everything for this moon calendar to into the show notes. Of course, I will also refer to your website, and I take it on your website. You can see all the decks you have been publishing. You're doing self-publishing a lot, right?
I do lots of self-publishing. I'm just going to reach over here because this is my brand new book too that just came out with Llewellyn, Become an Exceptional
Ooh,
Character. It actually came out on Monday in the States. It's still not technically out um, everywhere, but look how thick she is. She's
wow.
400 pages of this is like my 20 plus years of working with the tarot experience in this book. She is a chunky monkey. So that's out wherever you can get your books from. So that's also come out as well. So it's been a very busy time.
Yeah, that's great. So uh, is it a training for reading tarot for other people, or is it just like an introduction to tarot?
It's everything. It's everything. So basically what I wanted to do was get a book that is part reference book. So if you want to look up a card and be like, this, I need to know what the Five of Pentacles means upright in a love reading, you can do that. But then it's also for people who are new to the tarot, who want to actually build the skills in a way that is, it's like building a good foundation. You know, you lay it brick by brick. And so it gives you step-by-step guidance as to how to build your skills as a reader. And then there's also sections on astrology, the body language of the cards, numerology. So there's also a ton in there for people who've been reading for a while. And it's always good to, bolster your practice and to read other people's perspectives, and sometimes even just like go back over the basics, I guess, of reading, so that you're refreshing your memory and adding new things to your toolkit. So it's a little bit of everything, but every card meaning is in there, upright and reverse, for health, career and finances, love and relationships, spiritual and well-being. So you're going to get, and the traditional upright, well, not traditional, but the divination meaning. So there's a ton in there for everybody.
What do you mean by body language?
So the body language in the cards. So a lot of our tarot cards, there's so much given to us in that symbolic language, in the body language of the people in the cards, especially with the Rider-Waite-Smith, which is the system that I read, and it's a system that I was taught, and so it's the system that I teach as well. So every time you look at a tarot card, there is body language in that when there's a person in the actual card. So I go through what that body language is trying to convey to us. And often we pick it up on a subconscious level because we're so used to seeing other people maybe mirroring those body languages to us. But it's always an interesting thing when you intentionally bring yourself to reading that and going, oh, I'm making that connection now as to why that person is looking this way, or why that person is holding themselves closed. Yes, exactly. Or why someone's foot is a little bit forward, or they're off balance. So yeah, I go through that as well.
Interesting. Well, of course, I think about this as well, but I never heard that anybody was really talking about it in a book. So I find this very exciting. It's definitely something I want to read as well. I went a few weeks ago, I went through old stuff when I started learning tarot, all my notes from that time. And I realized that loads of stuff I think I have come up with. Actually, I read somewhere, which is really funny. I was like, oops, I thought I discovered this, but it's so many years past, and I totally forgot about this. And that's what you were saying about people who have done a lot of tarot. It's still worthwhile to look through books again and be inspired again and be reminded of stuff they might have forgotten. So I'm looking forward to this. I need to get a copy. The only thing I don't like, I have the Rachel Pollack book as well, the Tarot Wisdom, in this format. I think it's very difficult to read. I like to read in bed, and it always drops on my head at one point.
I know. She's a chunky monkey, but I mean, like, I don't think they were going to be able to get all this bloody text into a small book, to be honest. Like, it's so freaking much of it. So I totally get that. It's like one of those, like, you've got to lay it out on the coffee table and just be a little careful. But I've done that. I've literally been reading books and had it just go poof, and then you're like, oh no, oh crikey, that
can be really painful.
Yeah, I've definitely done that a number of times. Hey, or like falling asleep, and then you just like, bam, straight in the face. You're like, oh, that's great. That's great.
Is it possible to get an ebook, or is it only in print?
It is on, you can get it on Kindle, and it's also going to be on Audible. So it's an audiobook as well.
Ooh, that's my thing. I love Audible. I mean, not I just love to listen to books these days. It's much easier than reading, actually.
I love it,
Uh,
especially my fiction, because I'm a huge reader as well as an author. So like I read a lot of fiction. Like I listen to a lot of fiction on Audible, but I'm trying to also read physical books, especially to model that to my son, 11, because like I've got photos of like when I was younger, and there'd be my little sister, my dad, and then me, and we would be in my parents' bed, and we'd all have a cup of tea, and we would all have our physical books. And my dad and my mum always read physical
mm,
books, and all three of us, the daughters, actually four of us, all four of the daughters that my parents had, we all love reading. So I think there is a lot of good things to see books, but I also listen to a lot as well, especially when I'm like doing housework and
yeah,
going on
yeah,
drives or packing orders and things like that. I'm obsessed with listening to Audible.
yeah. It's cool. Yeah, I missed out on this with my son. I think I lost the battle for him to read, but never mind. He's
Boys are a lot harder, I swear,
yeah.
unless you get them like really, really young.
It was difficult, but anyway, it's so nice to chat to you. I could do this now for hours, actually.
I know I miss you. I swear I want to get back to the UK Tarot Conference and actually spend more time also in Europe, because I'm like so unbelievably blessed about how many fantastic colleagues like yourself and friends like yourself I have over there. And it's always just a time thing, because for anyone who hasn't been to the UK Tarot Conference, Kim and team put on an incredible event, and that's where we met. And I would love to, I mean, I would go back in a heartbeat. I'm fingers crossed, I can come back this year. So go if you get the chance. Like, mind-blowing
Uh,
experience.
I will be there, of course. I don't miss it. I just love it to bits. But nowadays you can also do it online, but obviously it's not the same experience, because it's so nice to sit next to people. And just when I had my chair next to Ethony, and I was like, oh, I'm going to sit next to Ethony.
You just like chit chat, just like, have a coffee and chit chat. That's what I love too. It's like you don't have to explain your love for divination and tarot and the game of hope or Lenormand or what, dice, whatever you use. You're in a room full of people who are mystics and explorers and seekers, and who are like so unbelievably welcoming. And it's just such a lovely experience to walk
Yeah.
into a room and be like, oh, I'm accepted and I'm with my people, and just to talk for days about the tarot and magic. It was, yeah, I love the conferences, in-person conferences, so much.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I can spoiler this now because we're in December now, but Kim obviously also drew a card for me, and she did very well. We had a lot of laughs actually when we were recording. And now I think it's time to move onwards, because we need to do some oracling as well. Before we do this, as I said, we're recording December 26 in December 25. How do you, in general, experience December?
Oh, you know what? This is crazy, because growing up in Australia, December is hot. I spent
Of
my
course.
Christmases in the pool. My mum, who is Canadian through and through, would always make a roast dinner. We would all think she's crazy because it's a billion degrees, like 40 degrees Celsius. Like, I kid you not, in Perth especially. So, but she'd be in there making the freaking turkey, but like in the pool. A lot of people do go to the beach. I spent time at the beaches. People have seafood and like cold drinks and all that. And then I moved to Canada. It'll be 13 years in May, and it's like freezing. It's cold, and it's like dark at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and there's the Four Seasons, and it's so I have been able to experience the magic of a white Christmas, which is pretty amazing. But to have that complete dichotomy of like 40 degrees to sometimes, I mean, it usually doesn't get too bad here, like maybe -1 or 2. But yeah, I find December being here harder, lack of vitamin D. It is very much a winding down, but then there's a lot of us in this profession who end of year readings and people trying to like get ready for the next year and retail, anyone who does anything, that's really busy. So we're kind of trying to do this very Gemini thing, which I am, which is like to hermit, which is also ruled by Mercury. Right, we're trying to do that hermit thing, but then we're trying to do the Gemini, the lovers thing, which is to socialize, which is also ruled by Mercury. So we're kind of in this like woozy doozy kind of dance of life. And then thank goodness a lot of us take some time off between, the solstice and the new year. But yeah, so I find it very busy. But if I could listen to my body and not have to do the holiday stuff for like schools and things like that, I think I would just drink tea and go very slow, but I won't complain about it being busy for work.
Yeah, interesting. I of course forgot that you have this very strange experience. It's must be wild to move from this to that. Yeah, that sounds good. Here in Germany, unfortunately, we never have snow anymore, so it's only nasty, coldish, wetty. So that's. I wish sometimes we had Christmases like when I was young. I'm getting old.
Right, me too.
It's horrible, isn't it? But do you think? You probably haven't made up anything, but you worked on your moon calendar. Do you think there will be something special happening in December 26? Do you have any ideas?
I mean, we're going to end. We start the year in 2026 with a full moon in Cancer, and we end the year in 2026 with a full moon in Cancer. So this happens every now and then. It's not the first time I've had to kind of write that into my moon guide. But if we look at where Cancer sits in the zodiac, this is going to be a year where people are very much protecting and pulling in close the things that they really care about. So I hope for next year, I mean, this year has been extremely difficult for nearly everyone I've ever met in my life. So I think like a message that I've been getting time and time again through readings, from my guides, from all that is, make time and effort to see in person, if you can, the people that you care about, even if it's difficult, because this is what's important, right? The more that people are vying for your attention on social media and the news, and I mean, we won't even get into the stuff of what's going on in generative AI and all that kind of stuff. The more that's trying to pull your attention in, the more we actually need our face-to-face communities, like our conferences, or like our started book club, you know what I mean? Like anything to get that connection, because those people are going to be your tether to like what is actually real. Because remembering that so much of 99% of what you see online is fake, and that's what's feeding your attention and keeping you engaged. And if that's the case, then it's like, come back to the magics, come back to like, if you're sitting with your tarot deck with a cup of tea or a cup of coffee offline, you're listening to yourself, you're slowing down, you're taking time. Just slow down, protect the ones you love, and not in a like, oh my gosh, something disastrous is going to happen, but just by quality time, by being with them in a way that really, really matters. And it doesn't have to be flashy and expensive. But I think that's going to be a big theme of people readjusting and realizing what truly is important to them, versus all of this crap that's being thrown at us. And most of it is just distraction and noise.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. Also, at the end of 26, we will have had all the major astrological shifts, which are now kind of messing up our lives. and there's still something to come. But in December, we might be looking back and say, okay, the shifts are done now. Where am I standing now? And preparing for 27. We might be more, hopefully less exhausted. That's what I'm hoping for.
And that's an interesting thing too. So next year is, depending on how you do your numerology for tarot, is either the Wheel of Fortune, which is what I've taken it
Me too, yeah.
because it's 10. But some people are drilling it down to the 1. But in tarot, as long as it's like in the major arcana, I leave it at 10. So it's the Wheel of Fortune, and which I've got my little Wheel of Fortune ring on today.
Ooh.
And the thing is with the Wheel of Fortune is we have to remember that this is motion. So try not to make any massive 5-10 year plan, things that need that kind of commitment or plans next year. Try to remember that, as you said, so much is shifting and moving. Just be like water as much as you possibly can. Cry when you need to. Be hard, like freeze over like the shell of a crab when you need to. Be like a warm bath when you need to. Hydrate when you need to. Just be in flow next year. Remembering that's also Jupiter. For those who can do that, Jupiter, I'm getting like literal goosebumps all up my arms. Jupiter is such a powerful, lucky, expansive planet, but only for those who can go with the flow.
Yeah.
Jupiter is Saturn. You're not going to be able to sit in rules and regulations and succeed next year. You just can't. You're just going to have to like learn. That's going to be real hard for like your earth signs that aren't a Virgo, but like if you can just go with it and be like, you know what? Back to, again, this is the thing, back to basics. Do I have a roof over my head? Do I have people that I love? Bring it in. And then by the end of the year, when everything has started to like settle down, and then we move into, which will be justice, right? That's when all the like laws of the universe settle.
Yeah.
Right. So it's going to be really interesting.
Yeah, I think so too. So we now will know some more detail when you're shuffling the cards. I just needed to explain, Ethony, actually what the Rauhnächte are. You got a bit freaked when I translated it to you.
No, I love it. No, I love it. It's because I love German.
Mhm.
I had a German, I think I told you when we met, I had a German pen pal when I was in primary school.
Yeah,
and
you told me it.
3 months. And then I backpacked with a German group of people in 2007 when I was backpacking in Canada. I freaking love, and I love your language. So when you were saying it, I was like, because I miss it. I used to hear it all the time.
But you don't have such a tradition in Australia or Canada, right? You don't do this.
No, because it's colonized, unfortunately. So there was
right. It's all British.
British colonized, so there's nothing here besides in Australia. The only thing they've done is they've made it that Santa sleighs pulled by kangaroos, and he wears swimming trunks, which makes sense. Very hot. But here it's very American, very Anglo-Saxon. But even the Anglo-Saxon part, like if I look back in my ancestry, sorry to go on a tangent, like my ancestry is Celtic, a very, 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 very traditional, like way back when Irish. So with my like ancestry, so that would be the oak king, the holly king, the green ones. That would be more, so much more connected to the land versus the Coca-Cola-esque, Santa. But tell us about your tradition, which I think is the freaking coolest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, just everybody who's watching now should be aware of it, but we have the 12 nights from the 25th of December to the 5th of January. Today is the 5th of January, so this means we're drawing the last card. It's exactly 12 nights. 12 nights are a tradition in Britain as well. Shakespeare wrote a play about it. But he didn't oracle during these 12 nights. In Britain, it was custom to have large feasts during this time in the Renaissance, for sure, and to have plays and amuse yourself. And in Germany, it was more the rough times, and during which Wodan and his wild knights were riding through the sky, and people tried not to be in their way. And they sat preferably at home at candlelight and drew each day a card. Well, they didn't have cards then, actually, but they oracled. And we're doing this tradition in Germany now with cards, or with whatever we want, and draw one card to predict the month, which is now I'm missing an English word. One card which is connected to that day. And Ethony is the one who's going to draw the last card, the card number 12.
Okay.
So December 26th, what are we going? Well, first tell me, which deck are you using?
I'm using my Cosmic Wisdom Tarot.
Cosmic Wisdom Tarot. I had a quick look before. It was a kind of weightish deck as well.
Yes, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's a Rider-Waite Smith.
Oh, that's
deck.
sweet. Okay,
Yes.
let's have a Cosmic Witch card, please, from
Okay.
Ethony.
So our card for December 2026 is the Page of Cups.
Oh,
and I just talked about being like water, and
yes.
now we have this little pearl diver. So this is inspired by the pearl divers in Papua New Guinea and in a lot of the areas of the Torres Strait Islanders as well, in Australia and in Fiji and in Polynesia that dive for pearls. And so the Page of Cups is traditionally the messenger of water, or the one who brings those messages of the water. And we have the little fish in the cup usually. But for me, this is my empath card and my card of listening to the fish, which can often be seen as it's a lucky card, actually, and a lot like in the Lenormand, the Game of Hope, it's a card of wealth. It's a symbol of wealth. And in a lot of Eastern traditions, it's also a symbol of wealth. And so this is about listening to the wealth of our emotions. So this is saying now that we're at the end of the year, we can finally start to understand and listen to our emotions and have them not be something that is driving us, but is empowering us forward, because we all have emotions. We are all emotional beings, but just because we have them doesn't mean we have to allow those to be in the driver's seat. And sometimes they need to be if they're reactive, like a protective thing or something that needs to be done straight away. But empowering your empathic abilities and allowing them to move forward. And for anyone who has gone through 2026, or even, however long it's been taking for all these big astrological shifts to happen, and has been feeling like your communication to your guides or yourself has been a little muddy, that's going to clear up. So it's now a time to dive underneath, to seek out what is that treasure he's going for, is actually the cup there, and to experience joy and wonder as well. So the other reason why I chose this image is, I'm obsessed with the ocean, but there is a whole other world under there, and we have a whole different world within us that's not necessarily the one that makes the decisions about our work day. So really spending that time and honoring, especially as we come back to December and back to those long nights and those solstices and all these beautiful traditions around the world, to listen to ourselves and honor those waters within us.
Yeah, I'm really thrilled by this card. It's a very cute deck. Obviously, I don't know it yet. I need to look it up. You send me, please, the link that I can put it into the show notes as well. And what I find interesting is we started January with the Page of Coins and are now finishing with the Page of Cups. So it has quite a nice feel to it. That also what you said about the Cancer full moons. I need to get this in my head right yet, but it is a nice movement from materialization to deepening it with emotions. Very, very nice. I like it a lot.
Yeah, so that's our Page of Cups.
Well, thank you very much, Ethony. I think somebody wants your attention, but we are already we are almost through, um, and you can go into your day. I think it's really early in Canada at present. Here
Yes.
it's dark, and we have almost 7 o'clock in the evening.
Oh,
So. So you're sitting there at 9 or something and need to get
yes.
things going. I highly appreciate that you took the time, Ethany. I know it was difficult for you to find some place in your schedule, and
Oh,
no, it's really great. And you have the last word. Do you? What do you want to tell people before you leave?
I mean, I guess like a little bit of what I said, right? Remember what is real, remember what is really important, and and quality time is going to be a big thing for people that you love and that love you, and just slow down, even if the world's going a million miles an hour. Just remember you can breathe in that moment and you don't have to rush into everything, and be like water. Be like water.
Be like water is an excellent advice. I'm a Pisces, so I don't have problems with this.
I have a Pisces moon, so she's got no problem with it either.
Very lovely. So this was the 12 nights. I'm through. I have had great guests. You are a highlight, of course, in December. And I shouldn't say this, the others were highlights as well. I mean, it's really a great
Everyone's a
team.
highlight. We're all
Okay,
stars.
we're all stars, aren't we?
The
And
constellation of tarot.
whoever watches this, I would love to have commentaries. I, of course, want to share it also with everybody who participated. And next year, we see what we will be doing then. For this year, the 12 nights are over. Have a great time. Bye.